think it's quite different because it's very specific in relation to a financial question. But also, I think the climate it is being asked in. I think the public are punch drunk at this stage from austerity, or whatever word you want to use, the last 4 years. And I think this is a very particular type of question. It's not about are we in Europe or are we not. It's more about the euro maybe, which is very technical for people to grasp, and how it's managed and how the finances are managed. So it's different from this one, because it's not about, you can't throw in the military and the other bits and pieces, the common borders or anything like that. This is, so the various sides are playing it very differently from other referenda as well.
The threats of old in EU referendums usually involve say yes and your child will be marched to war, say no and you'll die of the famine, not just now but in some years. Whereas the threats involved in this one are quite immediate. They're this year, next year, you may well have less money, there may be no money, that sort of thing. So I think it has concentrated minds. In a peculiar way, yes, it is more immediate, less complex. The previous treaties were a bit like looking at old bus timetables or old phone books, tearing them up and fitting pieces in around other pieces. This is a discrete and self-contained document.
The yes side are winning, but winning is the wrong word. I think it's very much, they're in the lead because the no side aren't doing very well. I do think that I'm wondering where the no side are. There's very little unity. It's very, there are certain people missing from the no campaign. For example, I'm not seeing an awful lot of Joe Higgins in the campaign. Seeing Sinn Féin taking very clear lead in lots of the press opportunities, the media debates, and I think the yes side through fear, through now they're bringing in other celebrities and those sort of opportunities, and all the GAA managers and all that sort of thing, but also through fear and a bit of bullying in the last week. And I wonder, will the foot be taken off the pedal now that the bullying will stop in the final week, because we've had Michael Noonan busy, issuing threats and scaring people and being, less than diplomatic about our EU neighbours, who are in trouble.
I would think the yes side have been more muscular and better. The no side, as always, Sinn Féin have done very surprisingly well. They've been rather sophisticated and apparently grown up. That's a very loaded pejorative term, but they have been engaging with the issues much more directly and have come well out of it. Micheál Martin has had a very good campaign. I think there's an awful lot of writing on it for Micheál Martin. Similarly, Eamon Gilmore, this is a very important campaign for him. He has been for long periods overshadowed by the Taoiseach and by Lucinda Creighton on the EU foreign policy beat. He needs a good, visible campaign. He very badly needs a win.
I was actually in the room when Richard Bruton said that we could have another go or another vote, and then had to backtrack after the note was passed up to him. I still don't personally believe that we wouldn't be asked again. I'd say if we had to be, and there'd be lots more excuses and it'd be changed a bit and all the rest. I think that was... that went on for a few more days than I thought it would, even after his clarifications and press statements. The Michael Noonan thing was quite, took also a few days for people to really grasp what he had said, and the way in which he had slagged people off in Greece. And I personally made a point about all the other Greek things that I spent money on and gave to their economy, and other people did as well, I think. But I don't think, on the no side, I don't think Ganley's had that much of an impact, because he's very much on his own. It's, even though some people would say that Libertas was very much about Ganley before, when it came at other times for other campaigns. I'm not sure as to the impact of Nigel Farage. I think he's the entertainment as such, and I think the media make a lot more about him and a lot more about Ganley, rather than the other more substantial homegrown elected, which is the other thing. I think that unelected people have had a lot of attention paid to them, as opposed to those who are elected and are leading a no campaign.
There hasn't been a huge game changer here, really, to be honest. I think the intervention of Michael Noonan, though widely criticised, where he says, look, far more budget uncertainty in the next two budgets if it's a no. I think that certainly concentrated minds. It was heavily criticised. I think the intervention of the central bank governor, again heavily criticised, was significant. Noises off, I'm not sure. I think Declan Ganley doesn't have the force that he had. I noticed people saying he only pops up when there's a European gig on, and what's he doing? Where is he in the interim, and what is his motivation? Similarly, I don't know whether intervention. I imagine if I was active on the yes side, I'd be very pleased to see the likes of Nigel Farage coming in